Hi, my name is David Baroni. I'm the Senior Strategic and Policy Planner at Council. I'm talking to you today about the Morphettville and Glengarry horse-related activities code amendment that Council currently has out on consultation. The code amendment affects around 135 properties to the southwest of the Morphettville Racecourse, and covers properties fronting Morphett Road, Bray Street up until Don Terrace, Austral Terrace up until Don Terrace, Ellis Avenue, Agars Avenue, Grafton Street, Ambrose Avenue, and the western side of Don Terrace. So what is a code amendment? A code amendment is a proposal to change the Planning and Design Code, which is a document that's used to guide development across the state. The Planning and Design Code includes things like zoning that provides a range of different criteria that applies to land uses, building heights, setbacks, car parking, and a range of other different design-related matters that a council needs to look at and consider when they're assessing development applications, for example, houses, shops, or industry. Some may remember the old council development plans that apply to each council area. The code replaces or has replaced those council development plans, and that was done in 2021 as part of the state government's planning reforms. This location was previously covered by the Residential Racecourse Zone, and that was a zone that was designed specifically to accommodate stabling and horse-related activities together with housing, and so it included a range of different policies that assisted in that to take place. That included larger allotment sizes and frontage widths to be able to fit those things in. In transitioning to the new code, most of this location was brought across into the Suburban Neighbourhood Zone, which is a standard residential zone, and the policies that related to horse-related activities, stables and those types of things were not brought across. But what was retained was the very large minimum site areas and frontage widths. The other parts of the area were transitioned across into the general neighbourhood zone. They're the small pockets between those stabling areas, and that zone is actually the zone that applies for the bulk of metropolitan Adelaide. There is a need to relocate stables in this location to a location that's more appropriate where potential conflicts with cars can be avoided, and that's something that Council would like to see happen over time. As part of that process, Council is looking to help facilitate the ability to relocate the stables for landowners through incentivising the potential redevelopment of those sites. Council's engaged previously with the owners of the stables the last year or two as part of the precursor to this code amendment. It is important to note that the stables are lawful uses and they continue to have existing use rights in this location, and the proposed code amendment will not change this. So what changes are we proposing? Probably the biggest change is that we want to consolidate this location into one single zone, which is going to be the Suburban Neighbourhood Zone. And then probably the other bigger change is we're looking to introduce a new set of criteria for minimum lot sizes and frontage widths for different types of housing. So as you can see from the table, the current criteria of 560 square metres and 15 metre frontage will be reduced across all of the different dwelling types. And probably the key component to this is that the minimum site areas proposed are consistent with what is actually established within the neighbouring general neighbourhood zone, so then surrounding areas. However, a key change is we are looking to encourage street-facing development, which is things like detached dwellings and semi-detached dwellings instead of group dwellings and residential flat buildings, which tend to be side-facing. So some key changes we've made to the criteria are reducing the minimum frontage width for semi-detached dwellings down to 8 metres, but importantly, increasing the size or the width of the block needs to be for group dwellings of residential flat buildings to 18 metres, so that they can only really occur on larger sites where you can suitably deal with landscaping and vehicle movements. Council does acknowledge that there are some very large sites in this location, and they will still be able to accommodate group dwellings and residential flat buildings. That's still an appropriate form of development in this location, given its strategic positioning next to the tram line and existing centres. Importantly, Council is not looking to make any changes to building heights for this location, which are currently 2 building levels or a maximum of 9 metres, and that's consistent across the bulk of the metropolitan area. In addition, because we recognise that there may be some time before the stables are transitioned out of the area, we are also proposing to introduce a suite of policies that are within the interface management overlay for this particular location, and that will apply to existing stable sites and the residential properties directly adjacent to these locations. And the intent of that is to make sure that new housing takes into account the potential noise, light spill or odour issues associated with stables, and making sure that there's consideration given to that in the design of those new houses. Council is eager to hear your feedback on the proposed changes, and this code amendment is out for consultation until the Monday the 5th of February 2024. We are holding up to 4 drop-in sessions at the Morphettville Park Sports and Community Club in Denham Avenue at Morphettville. 2 of these will be held on the 12th of December, so 2 to 3 p.m. and 6 to 7 p.m. And then 2 will be held in the new year on the 17th of January, once again 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. No registration is necessary for these sessions, so you're free to just turn up. It's an opportunity for you to ask questions to council staff about what's being proposed and how it might affect you. If you are wanting to understand more about what's proposed as part of this code amendment, I'd encourage you to visit Council's website, makingmarion.com.au/horse related, or one word. There you'll be able to find out a little bit more information. You could download a copy of a flyer, a copy of the code amendment report itself, as well as maps which show you the development potential as a result of the proposed changes. There's also some frequently asked questions that explain some of the detail around different components and technical matters associated with this, including the process that it will be going through as well. So I'd encourage you to take a look at those. You can also complete the survey, and that survey will be your submission for the code amendment. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to reviewing your submission.